Hey guys, what's up? So, sorry about that kind of a pause. So yeah, welcome to another Java episode, and yeah. So now this episode we'll learn what all these things mean: public, class, mouse extends, rodentia, public, blah blah blah. All the things you never understood. And like public, static, void, main, string, args, whatever. So. Java is an object-oriented programming OOP or OOP language, which means that we can design classes, objects, and methods that can perform actions. Okay? These behaviors are important in the construction of larger, more powerful Java programs. In this lesson, we will learn some fundamental concepts of object-oriented programming to take advantage of the power of OOP in Java. So, check out the code in the editor. It incorporates classes, objects, and methods. After this lesson, you'll be able to read and write Java programs that use the OOP model. Click Run to run the code, and it should say some cool things. Brad ate some cheese pizza. Okay. Streak of 10. Cool. One fundamental concept or object-oriented programming in Java is the class. A class is a set of instructions that describe how a data structure should behave. So, like a class, now this one's gonna be called dog, and a class is just like a file. So, Java provides us with its own set of predefined classes, but we are also free to create our own custom classes. Classes in Java are created as follows: class car, create a custom car for class. The example above creates a class named car. We will define the behavior of the car data structure in the next exercise. Okay, so instructions. In the code editor, create a dog class. Use the example above to help you. For now, you can ignore the lines of code at the bottom. We will return to it later in the lesson. Run, and yeah, nothing happens because we only created a class. We're off to a good start. We've created a Java class, but it currently does not do anything. We need to describe the behavior of the class for it to be useful. Let's start by creating the starting state of our class. We can do this by adding a class constructor to it. A class constructor will allow us to create dog instances. With a class constructor, we can set some information about the dog. If we do not create a class constructor, Java provides one that does not allow you to set initial information. The code below demonstrates how a class selector is created. So all we have to do is public car parentheses and yeah, that's the brackets. I hate my nose. In the example above, we created a class constructor for the car. We created a class constructor for the car class. The constructor will be used when we create car instances later. Oh, I can't really speak that well today. The public keyword will be explained later in this course. The public keyword, yeah. I did class selector called dog. By the way, for indentation for Java, I think I like in plain indent better. So public dog. No, if you're getting an error in the console about a main method, include the following code with the dog class. Include the following code within the dog class. It will be explained later in this lesson. Run and next. So, yeah. When we create a new class, we probably have specific details that we want the class to include. We save those specific details into instance variables. Here is an instance variable in the car class that describes a detail that we might want to associate with car. So, int model year without a value, Yeah. In the example above, we created the instance variable named model year. Instance variables model real-world car attributes, such as the model year of a car. Finally, the instance variable is represented by the int data type. Let's model the dog class with an int called a dog class after a real world dog. Let's create an int instance with the variable called age. Okay, so yeah. And run. What? No. Dang it. And int age. Run and next. Perfect. By adding a class constructor and creating instance variables, we will soon be able to use the dog class. However, the class constructor dog is still empty. Let's modify this by adding parameters to the dog constructor. You can think of parameters like options at an ice cream store. You can choose to order a traditional ice cream cone, but other times you may want to specify the size of the cone or the flavor of the cream. So it's like the instance variable is like the cone, but then in here, like, you put parameters in between these parentheses, and it's like you choose the flavor from there. From the dog class, we can specify the initial dog age by adding parameters to the class constructor. Parameters allow data types to be created with specified attributes. Let's add parameters to our car class selector. So we have to put it in between the parentheses. In the example above, we add the int parameter year to the car constructor. The model year, the value of model year will equal the int value. Wait. The value of model. How can I not read today? Wow. The value of model year will be equal the int value that is specified when really. Wait, the value. Sorry about that. I don't know why I can't read that well today. The value of model year will be the value of model year will equal the int value that is specified when we first use this class constructor. So it's like this this is getting kind of confusing. I've never done this course before. The value of model year will equal the int value that is specified. Okay, so inside these the parameters, it's like creating a new variable year, and then model year is the same as a year. Okay, since model year is equivalent to year. Add an parameter called dog's age. Okay, into dog's age in between the parentheses of the dog constructor. Oh, finally, I'm getting better at reading for the day. Inside the constructor block, set the instance of the variable age. Age equal to the dog's age parameter. Run. We're almost ready to use a custom dog class. But first, we need to understand how to structure and run our Java program. Okay. You may have noticed a mysterious-looking line of code in previous lessons that looked like this. Public static void main string args. This is Java's built-in main method. We will learn more about methods and keywords around the main method later on. Okay. But first, let's understand what the purpose of the main is. When Java runs your program, the code inside the main method is executed. For now, you can ignore the keywords in the main method that we have not yet covered. You will learn about them later in the course. Your dog class should already have a main method. It should look like the following: public stack void variable. Do not include anything inside of the main method yet. Click run to continue. Come on, it's gonna take longer to export if it takes so long just to run. Perfect. Now that we have a main method in our class, it's default. We start to run using the dog class. To use the dog class, we must create an instance of the dog class. An instance of a class is known as an object in Java. The example below demonstrates how to create a car object. So, the object, in the example above, we create a car object named myFastCar. So inside the main method, this is called the main method, the whole thing. It's like we create a car. So like it's in variables. It's like string, like int, blah blah blah. Right now it's car because like the constructor's name is car, and I don't want to look up car. Name it, and it's an object called myFastCar. When creating myFastCar, we use the class constructor and specified a value for the required int parameter year. Okay. We use the class constructor for the required int parameter year. 2007 is the model year of myFastCar. Okay. Note that we declared the new note that we declared the new object inside the main method. So like new car parentheses declares it. But then like inside the parentheses, like this number is the value of year. So the model year is 2007. So inside the main use the dog constructor to make a dog object. And so like this is like the dog. Like, okay, since we're creating this new object, it's like, wait, I'm gonna write out the code first. What happened? Oh, and new dog, like this. I'm gonna say he's 5. Now, this is like what type of dog he is, what type of animal. He's a dog. This is his name, and then this is a dog, and then he's 5 years old. Because 5 is now the value of dog's age, because what goes in here is like in dog's age 5. But that's not right in Java. We have to set it in those parentheses right there. Great work. We created a dog object inside of the main method, but nothing happened. Although we created an object inside of the main method, we did not print out anything about the spike object itself, nor did we instruct the class to perform any actions. Let's learn about how methods in Java are used to define actions. A method is a predefined set of instructions. Okay, methods are declared within a class. Yeah, methods are predefined. Okay. Java provides some predefined methods available to all classes, but we could create our own as well. Let's create a new method. So there's the method, public void start engine. As you can see, like, constructors don't have void. Since this is the main method, it has void, and then this method has void. So remember what I'm guessing? Void like just declares the method. Stuff and no stop. In the example above, we created a method called start engine. When the method is used, it will print out room. The void keyword will be explained later in the course. Note that the start engine method is created outside of the main method, like the constructor was. So in between the constructor, we need to create in the main method, create a method called bark, public void bark. In the bark method, type woof. So we're doing that, and system.out.println run and woof. Run. Great, now the bark method is available to use on the spike object. So we can do this by calling the method on spike. Here's an example of calling a method on an object using the car class. So the object is myFastCar, and then we're using myFastCar to start the engine. In the example above, we call the start engine method on the myFastCar object. Call means start this, execute this code. Do it. Again, this occurs inside the main method. Running the program results in printing room to the console. So inside the main method, we're gonna call it. So let's do what was it? Yeah. Spike.bark. Right. And next, and it says wolf up there. Fantastic. Similar to constructors, you can customize methods to accept parameters. Okay. In the example above, we create a drive method that accepts an int parameter called distance in miles. In the main method, we call the drive method on the myFast car object and provide an int parameter of 1628. Calling the drive method on myFastCar will result in printing miles driven 1628 to the console. So yeah, so it prints out miles driven, and then now there has to be okay. So I'll explain this later. So behind this, we're creating another method called run. Modify the run method so that it accepts an int parameter called feet. Inside the run method, type system.out.println your dog ran, and then there has to be a space plus feet. Now what this this is the amount of feet he run. So this will be when it's plus, so it's gonna be your dog ran space, and then let's say he ran 5 feet. That's gonna be 5. So it's gonna be your dog ran space 5 feet. If there's no space there, it's gonna be your dog ran no space feet. So if we do that, yeah, nothing will pop up except for the wolf. Inside the main method, we have to call it, so it's gonna be spike.run. And then I'm just gonna do 180. He ran a lot of feet. And then there has to be a space. Yeah. And then run, and then it's your dog ran 180 feet. Let's explore one of the keywords using used in declaring a method. In past exercises, when creating new methods, we use the keyword void. The void keyword indicates that no value should be returned. Sorry. The void keyword indicates that no value should be returned by the method after it executes all the logic in the method. What? Okay, let me try and make... I don't get how that makes sense. Indicates that no value should be returned. No value should be returned. Okay. By the method after it executes all the logic in the method. If we do want the method to return a value after it finishes running, then we can specify the return type. The void keyword, which means completely empty, indicates to the method that no value is returned after calling that method. Alternatively, we can use data type keywords such as int, char, etc. to specify that a method should return a value of that type. An example of indicating a return value for a method below. So it's like int, like here, or yeah, here it's like return 4. That returns it. In the example above, we created a number of tires method. This method specifies that it will return an integer of data type. Inside of the method, we use the return keyword to return the value of 4, which is an int type. Within main, we call the number of tires method on my fast car. So like since the method returns an integer value of 4, we store the value within an integer variable called tires. We then print the value of tires to the console. So integer tires, since it's tires, and then it just prints out, executes that code. So in the between run and main methods, we create another method called public int get age. And run. Oh, return age. I was like, what did I do wrong now? No. Return age. Inside of main, set an integer value called spike age. Age to spike dot get age. And yeah, I don't get. Oh, Java's so confusing. So spike age, which will print out his age. Like we just created an integer, which like runs the get age method, and then we have to print out the age value here. Wait, like yeah, it's kind of hard to explain this. Integer spike age dot get age, and then we're supposed to print it out. Okay, so this creates the integer value, and then I don't know how to explain this. 5, that's his age, you've created a fully functional dog class. Congratulations, one of the object-oriented programming concepts that allows us to reuse and maintain code more really, I can't pronounce efficiently, finally, is called inheritance. It is used to share or inherit behavior from another class. So let's look at an example. So extends vehicle, class vehicle. Now, in the example above, the extends keyword is used to indicate that the car class inherits the behavior defined in the vehicle class. This makes sense since a car is a type of vehicle. Within the main method of car, we call the check battery status method on my fast car. Since car inherits from vehicle, we can use the methods defined in vehicle on car object. So if we now we need to extend from animal class. So this is another class, and then we like inherit all this stuff. It's like putting another class in your class document. It's okay. So extends animal run, and then inside the it's like fine. It doesn't say your pet. It doesn't print out your pet is healthy and happy. Just makes another class, and then we call the check status on Spike, and it should print out your pet is healthy and happy. And by the way, I figured out the reason why it didn't. Whoa! What happened? Oh, good. So the reason why I didn't print out Spike.getAge like 5 was because it was only an integer. Like we were only creating an integer. If you haven't noticed. So great work. Let's review everything that we've learned about object-oriented programming in Java so far. Class, a blueprint for how a data structure should function. Constructor instructs the class to set up the initial state of an object. Object, instance of a class that stores the state of a class. Method, sets of instructions that can be called on an object. Parameter, values that can be specified, creating an object or calling a method. Return value specifies the data type that a value will return after it runs. Inheritance allows one class to use functionality defined in other classes. So inside of the main method, we have to create a new coffee object called my order is equal to a new coffee. Run, and that should be correct. Yes. On the next line, call the add sugar method on my order and specify 2 as the parameter. So my order dot add sugar and 2, and that should print you added 2 sugar cubes. Modify the coffee class so that it inherits from the beverage class. So extends beverage. So it has all the elements in here. Run. Inside of main, call the isFull method on the my order object. So isFull dot isFull, and that should be correct. Your order is full. Yeah. So yeah, congratulations. We're on like the last lesson of Java. So we can start previewing this. Whoa, this looks pretty confusing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Please subscribe. Please please like. Thank you so much for watching this video, and bye bye.